Alright, today we'll learn about the timer using Raspberry Pi Pico and MicroPython. In my previous video, I showed you how to use digital input and output and also how to use the sleep function for making a delay. So if we want to blink an LED every 1 second, then we can turn on the LED, then wait for 1 second using the sleep function and then turn off the LED and again wait for 1 second using the sleep function. This sleep function has some problem. It blocks the code during the execution of this sleep. For example, during that 1 second, the microcontroller will not respond to any kind of input or output. So this just blocking executing the code. This is a great problem when you have multiple input and output in your device. To solve this problem, we will use the timer. This timer never blocks your code so that you can make different task scheduling. For example, if you have 3 LED, red, green and yellow, and you want to turn them on and off at 3 different intervals, then you can schedule this task using the timer interrupt. So let's do the coding for this part. And before coding this, I already connected my red, yellow and green LED to GPIO pin 14, 15 and 16. So if you don't know how to connect the LED using the resistor to the GPIO pin, please see my previous video. First thing first check if you connected the Pico board to the correct port. So if you connected it correctly, you will see the Pico file system here. So you see the Pico file system is here. Now let's open the main.py and start coding. So for turning on the LED, you need to input the pin from this machine library. Also, as we are going to, if you love this video, please give me a thumbs up. That will inspire me to make new videos, and don't forget to subscribe my channel. Use the timer. Let's just input the timer as well. First, let's declare the LEDs. So I connected the red LED to pin number 14. So this will be an output pin. Also, I connected the yellow LED to pin number 15. Then I connected the green LED to pin number 16. So I'm just changing this code accordingly. Yellow and this is green. So I inputted the necessary libraries and I declared this pin for the necessary LEDs. Then let's just try to see whether everything is good or not. So if in traditional method we try to turn on the red LED, for example red dot value, if I make it 1, this will be turned on, and if I wish to make a blinking red LED, then I need to wait for example I can wait for 1 second, then I can turn it off and I can again wait for another 1 second. So I'm turning it off, so I make it 0, then it will wait for 1 second and this code blocks will run again and again. Let's just try to see, and before that let's input the, this is from the input time. Okay, so let's run this code. So it says there is some problem. Okay, let's try to see the timer. Okay, there will be no comma. Still there is some problem. Let's try to find it. It's called the syntax error. So did we make any syntax error here? This is timer. Oh, interesting. Still there is some problem in line number 1. Okay, it will be input timer. That's good. Now here you go. You can see the red LED is blinking with 1 second. So here is the problem with this sleep function. While the sleep is executing, while we are here, the code stop responding to the outside world. It cannot take any input or give any output. So this is a big problem for this case. Also, if now we wish to turn on the yellow LED at 2 second interval, then we cannot add this code here. It will be very complex. you can try it by yourself. If you make any solution using this sleep function, you can comment on my video. That will help others to learn this. Okay, so for solving this problem, let's use the timer. For using the timer, you need to do two things. First, you need to declare a timer object. So I declare a timer object from this timer library. Then you need to init this timer. So for init this timer, you need to provide. So for init this timer, you need to provide three parameters. First parameter is the frequency or period, so it will be freq, and let's say it's 1. Then the mode, and then you need to provide a callback. So this callback is just a function, so I can say tick. So and you also, so as a mode we can provide this timer.periodic. That means the timer will tick periodically with a frequency of 1 second. So you can make these changes to this frequency here. You can also use it period, like without using the frequency you can use it period. So in that case I will provide this 1000. That means the period will be 1000 milliseconds. So it's the same thing, so I'm just using freq here, so this is easier to like remember. So now our timer is initialized using this code. Then it is also like set up using the necessary parameters, this frequency and this mode. Now let's define this tick. So we can say the tick, and here by default you need to pass the parameter timer. Okay, so this function will be called every 1 second because I chose this frequency in 1 second. So at every 1 second, if this function is called, now we can do anything inside it. But just remember, don't do any heavy tasks here. Don't do any kind of sleep that takes too long time or like some time consuming work. So you can just use this tick function for setting some global variable, increment or decrement, some flag values, etc. This is just for this one, and you can use your while loop for doing the heavy tasks. Okay, so when this is a tick, let's just print this to see. We can say timer is ticked. Okay, now let's try to do this thing, and also in the meantime for now let's delete this one, so I can just keep it, pass it. Okay, so stop it and run it again. So you see now every 1 second is printing the timer is ticked. That means it is working correctly. So if I change this frequency to like 2 seconds, then it, so for the 2 seconds the tick is now printing at every 2 seconds. So using this frequency parameter we can choose any ticking frequency. Now let's try to blink the LED using this one. So it's pretty simple. So if let's just do it for 1 second, and we can go here and we can just make it red dot toggle. So if we just toggle this red button, that will turn on and off. So let's run it. So you can see it's just toggling this every 1 second. So this is pretty simple. We don't need to use this while also. Like you can pass this while, or you can delete this while. So without delete, without this while, this will be working because the timer is now taking care of this. So every 1 second the timer is ticked, and it's just calling this tick function here, and it's doing this task. So we can schedule tasks using this timer. So for example, if you want to schedule 2 LED blinking at 2 different frequency, now we can easily do it. So for this one, let's say this is the timer 1 and this is timer 1, and we can declare another for the yellow LED. We can schedule this task as timer 2, so this will be timer 2, and we can call the same timer function here, but we can check it here. So let's try it inside this one. If the timer equal timer 1, so if the schedule is for timer 1, then we can do anything. For example, we are doing this rate toggling, so rate will be toggled, and if this timer is for timer 2, then we can toggle the yellow one. So let's just make the correct indentation and we can change it to yellow one, and we can also change the frequency to 1/2. That means that the timer 2 will be scheduled every 2 seconds and timer 1 will be scheduled every 1 second, and the corresponding work will be done. So let's stop and run this code. So if we do this one, it seems like both of them is running at same interval. Okay, let's debug this issue. So what happened here? So okay, the pin is assigned correctly, 14 and 15 for red and yellow, and this timer one. Okay, yeah, it is. So you need to change this one. Now stop and run it. Okay, now you see it's working perfectly. If you just keep your eyes on the red LED, you see the red LED is blinking at 1 second interval and the yellow LED is blinking at 2 second interval. So using this timer, now you can schedule any task based on your necessity. So this is like a pretty simple one, and this is very useful in the embedded system. So one task for you after watching this tutorial, you guys can try to make a traffic light. So this I will give the solution. If you cannot do this, just make a comment and I will give you the solution in the comment box. Thank you for watching this and see you in the next video.